Welcome to the Guide Life Podcast by Whiskey Slews. This show is about the work, the hunts, and the real side of guiding. No filters, no fluff, just what it takes to build and run a hunting operation from the ground up. Every week we'll cover everything from land management to habitat work to the daily grind of guiding waterfowl upland and turkey hunts here in Nebraska. I'm Hunter Runge, CEO, guide, and the voice behind the blind. We are back. New episode. It's warm day in July. Really hot out. So
I wouldn't say warm. It's
hot. We're camping inside. We don't want to go outside.
It's officially swamp ass season.
Swash season. It's sticky in the morning, desert hot in the afternoon, sticky in the evening.
This is the time of year where it's almost like better to be outside midday than it is morning. Damn near, it's like disgusting.
Evenings.
I played,
but the mosquitoes are ungodly bad.
I played golf with Alex the other day in the evening. 95% humidity. I walked away with 70 bug bites. My whole shirt was drenched.
Did you count those one by one?
Yeah, about 70 golf shots too. It was freaking horrible.
When it's that sticky out, it literally does not matter where you are.
Yeah, Alex was like, "Should we go golfing?"
Wherever.
And I was like, "Yeah, let's go golfing." We made it to hole 9, and I was like, we made it to the end of the course, and I was like, "We're done. This is horrible. Let's go home."
Yeah, we're like cold weather people. We are not hot
You know what?
people.
And I'll even hit you with a hot take on that. I don't even need it to be 20s. I'm perfectly fine with lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the 60s.
Turkey season weather. Turkey season weather's
I'm
great.
even all
till
right.
the end.
I'm even all right with highs in the low 70s. Highs 55 to 75. I'm all right with. Lows 35 to 55. So October, some of November, some of September, March, April, May, some of May.
February's just glorious time.
February?
I love February.
I do not enjoy February weather.
The reverse?
Seems like February we always get at least
I
one
love early
nasty spell of some.
February's weird.
cold.
You get like a warm stretch to where it's like t-shirts for a few weeks, and then you just get hit with like something just terrible at some point.
I was going to say, I remember having to move snow goose groups because it was colder than shit outside. Everything was frozen. High was like 4 degrees
But
every
don't
day.
forget, before that, in the reverse, it was like t-shirt hunting in the pit line.
Yeah, I remember that one day. I was hunting. We hunted the river with the reverse with Kyle's group, and I was in a t-shirt.
Yeah. That's February for you.
Yeah.
It's something.
But for the segment of this episode, we kind of wanted to move off of a previous episode we talked about. The world of overthinking as a waterfowl hunter. That world is massive. The amount of shit that we do that we don't even know if a bird would notice happens. We do it still.
And everyone's guilty of
Every
it.
single person.
There's 2 red shells on the ground. Grab them immediately, or they're all gonna flare.
So
I don't like the way this decoy is sitting. It needs to be.
That head position is the wrong way. If that goose was a century, they ain't coming. It's got to be a feeder.
My first opinion is going to start with that right there. There's the old saying, you can never have all your decoys facing each other.
Facing each other.
Yes, you always have to, you want them to face, like, this old timer taught me this. He said you want to have your century, one high head for every 50 decoys. That's what he told me. He said you take your high head, and you want to make sure that he is not facing any other decoys. He's facing away from the group.
Yeah, watching for like predators and
Yes.
stuff. That part makes.
He
a
said
little
you
bit
do
of sense.
that, and then he said when you make your family groups, don't ever make them all look at each other. Make them all look away from each other, and have at least just 1 or 2 decoys look at each other. Seriously, I mean, this was like a math quiz he gave me. This old timer did. I don't do that, but
I do believe in having,
there's some superstitions out there.
I do believe in having like a reason behind how you set your decoys. Like there's a time and a place for certain decoy postures. I don't know if I'd say 1 century for every 50 decoys is necessarily the deal breaker, but I will say, like, if you put a ton of centuries out and not much else, yeah, they're all going to look alert and scared, or they're going to look like a group that just landed, depending on how many you have. I would also say, like, you don't want half of them facing north and half of them facing south. That'd be really weird. I mean, for the most part, it's like Like when geese feed, a lot of times they're going to feed into the
Sorry,
wind.
Bob. Hold on, I got to laugh about something real quick. There was this one time, I don't remember what you were doing. I don't think you were guiding a hunt. Maybe you were. It was our first year. Do you remember when Bob set all those decoys in a straight line on the riverbank?
Hey,
do you remember that?
I still stand by that theory.
No. He said
it was just you and me hunting you, fucker. All right.
Well, okay, we weren't guys. There was just, I mean, literally, he put like 40 decoys.
They were all sleepers along the water's edge.
Just a straight ass line.
Where these geese were sitting on the edge of the water on a sandbar. You could have
fucking compassed that shit. Just a straight.
I mean, it did look like they were all on a 2x4. All right,
literally.
They might have been a little too straight.
I remember looking at him and go, "Hey, Bob."
I remember telling you to shut the fuck up and sit in your blind.
Yeah, we didn't see any geese that day to test that theory either, so
we'll run it again.
We never found out the truth.
We'll run it again. I think we could kill geese in a straight line. I think we can do it.
So, okay. My theory on that is straight line, but instead of one decoy straight line, go like 1 and then like 1, 2 and then 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3.
Well, we might have to modify the old theory. All right,
yes,
I'll agree with you.
When you're on ice or you're on bank like that, they do lay right on the water's edge.
Yeah.
Not every single one of them is their ass 6 inches from the water, though. Some of them lay a little further out.
Now here's a real question that hits you on the river all the time. A lot of times when geese sit on the ice and they go in their sleepers, they sit sleeping with their head towards the water. But they also always sleep facing into the wind. Depending on where you're hunting, that doesn't always line up.
I always do into the wind.
I do too.
Yeah, I usually do too, for the most part.
Now, let's talk overthinking on that, though. I used to make sure every single one of my decoys was exactly straight into the wind.
Yeah, that don't matter.
No, now when I throw them, I kind of cockeye one.
Actually, it looks almost more stupid when they all face exactly into the wind, because then they all
OCD
look like
though
straight
it looks
lines.
perfect for
it looks
for
cool.
the human eyes.
For the camera, for the human eyes, it looks good, but like it don't look natural. The biggest thing is like you think about a goose's feather when they're laying down. If they've got wind coming from their ass end, it cuts right underneath all their feathers because they're stacked. When they're laying facing into the wind, it just blows around them.
So let me ask you this now. You put out a sleeper set. You put out 85 sleeper shells, 12 full bodies. Are you calling for a 97 decoys worth of geese, or are you calling for 12 decoys worth of geese? Are sleeping geese calling?
My personal answer on that, because I love running sleepers. I love it more than about anything.
You love it at a point where it's disgusting.
You absurdly do this.
I do, but I will say most of the time it's just simple honks, clucks, very, very soft calling. But when that goose starts going the wrong way, damn it, we're gonna give him the beans, all right? He's gonna get honked at, and he's gonna get yelled at in goose. Like, get your fucking ass over here. We're going to give it to him.
Dakin has the story straight up, but there's a story that Dakin told us one time. He was hunting with Bob this season, and they had our big black trailer out there full of full bodies and sleeper shells, and Dakin said that Bob was going out putting sleeper shells out all around, and he said Dakin said as soon as Bob went to go get the clients, he walked around and picked every single one of them up and shoved them back in the trailer.
I was hot.
And then went
I was hot. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, where did all my sleepers go? I just put out like 10 dozen of these things.
And then there was another time Dakin said that he just followed behind Bob as he put him out and picked him back up.
How about that man with a baseball bat? He about got the goose bat.
Or there was this other time. Sorry, Bob, you're really cracking me up now. When Bob was hunting the farm pond, all ducks, not a single goose. It was in October.
That hunt will go down in history.
There wasn't a goose in the damn area.
No, there were 2 of them on the pond that week.
So Bob comes out. We always hang out with clients at night after dinner, and then right after dinner we all go down as a group of guys and collectively talk about the hunt and load the trailers and get ready to go. Bob's down there. We've thrown his 4 dozen mallards in, side-by-sides, layout blinds, everything. He's ready to go. And then all of a sudden, this motherfucker comes walking out. He's got a stack of sleeper shells over his shoulder. And me, Grant, and Sam all look at each other, and we go, what is this guy doing? And we all go, whoa there, Bob. Why don't you put those down? And Bob was like, hell no, they're coming with me.
I took 6 dozen of them things. I took 2 dozen full bodies. I took a dozen goose floaters. We threw it at him. I was going to kill those 2 geese if they ever flew by, and I saw them. but they flew by about 2 miles away and did not give a flying shit that there was a goose decoy on that pond.
Let me tell you, we can overthink as much as we want because we all have our way of thinking. At the end of the day, to you listeners, the smartest thing to do is see what is out there and match the hatch. It's just like fishing.
I don't always agree with that theory. I'll get on a tangent on that one because if you only see 4 ducks on there, I ain't gonna only go put 4 duck decoys out if I got traffic over it, or I know there's geese flying over it.
Okay, but if you're trying to hunt 4 ducks, you go find something better.
I'll make a comment on that in support of Bob. I remember a hunt I scouted for you. I scouted this hunt, covered in Canadas and divers and 6 mallards. And you went and hunted it the next day. You saw 1 flock of divers. You saw like 1 group of Canadas. There was like 400 on this pond. It was Canadas and divers. You saw 1 flock of divers, a couple Canadas, and you shot like all mallards.
Right. But
I remember that shit because you set all those decoys out for geese, and they were. I mean, I watched them come off the feed and go into this pond.
Yeah.
One group,
I also
and they
believe
just never came back.
sometimes the best duck decoy is a goose decoy.
But I also think when you're hunting a spot where it's routinely there's this many ducks in here, they're doing the same thing all the time. Why wouldn't you match the hatch?
Yeah, when you've got when you know it's like consistently like that, unless you know there's like geese coming through the area, or if you're hunting a farm pond and you've only seen ducks, but tomorrow you've got a north wind, temps are going to drop, westers are going to push in mid-November. You're going to throw a lot of geese. Like as a general rule of thumb, matching the hatch, I'll agree as a general rule of thumb, but like I don't know, usually having more decoys or goose decoys are not going to flare the ducks. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, there's geese down there now, I'm not going to go over there. I don't think the ducks are going to flare because there's goose decoys. That's my personal take on that.
If I'm hunting a pond and it's strictly ducks, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm just
let me
ducks.
ask you this. So now we clearly have 2 different sides of the story. How do you prove it?
Depends on the hunt.
How does
go hunt?
How does someone win this scenario?
Do you want to keep that mirror?
That's a nice looking mirror. Alex, you want to keep that mirror?
If not, Dacon's going to sell it on Marketplace. That's a good plan.
Why don't you put that in the shop, Joe? Go put that in the shop bathroom.
Oh, that would be a good spot.
Great
for
spot
that.
for
Good
it.
spot for
We
it.
do need a mirror in there.
Is Dakin selling those lamps on Marketplace?
Everything on Marketplace.
I do see Dakin's truck out front. I told Dakin, I said, I don't care what you do with all those stuff down there. I don't care if you take it and sell it yourself. Just get it out of the damn basement. So he's got lamps and fans and everything.
All right, back to this topic.
This is
up.
old man Jenkins' handkerchief from 1962, selling it on Facebook Marketplace for $300.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you go to buy those fans. He's gonna be like, I want 150. You're gonna be like, how's 125 cents? He's gonna be like, how about you fuck off? That's what he's gonna say. he's gonna be very firm on his price for lamps that he stole out of our basement. Holy crap! All right, sorry. Back to the concept at hand. So here's my take. Let me give my take before.
Hold on. I'm gonna make one comment because you took too long talking, and I've been thinking too much here. This overthinking thing's real. But how many times have you taken goose decoys to a hunt where you hadn't really seen geese and killed geese because of it? Because I can name quite a few where it's happened, like especially on the river.
A shitload of times where I've taken way too many decoys
and killed fucking nothing.
Yeah. Or taken goose decoys.
Well, luckily for you guys, we've got a nice 20 minutes left of this episode.
But can you name a time where you've ever taken goose decoys to kill ducks and you've not had your ducks come in?
I can tell you a time but let me give you my opinion first before I hit you with this.
Well, start talking and quit lollygagging here. We're in a debate.
Okay. So let's all settle out with some simple ground rules. We're gonna take a Platte River hunt. We scouted the property, covered in mallards, saw 2 flocks of geese fly over. First things first, we're hunting the big blind, so you've got access to all the goose decoy. You've got the whole conundrum. What are you putting out? You've got the whole big blind.
That's a trick question.
Why?
Because
Don't hit me. It wasn't no fucking trick question.
How often has the blind been hunted before that? Like, has everybody been running a full goose spread and duck spread for the last few weeks?
We're hunting it on the standard, the way we hunted the property.
Okay, yeah.
Big blind one day, West End one day. We're hunting the standard.
Has anybody been running goose decoys, or has it all been just duck spreads?
Let me put it this way. I've hunted it the last 3 times.
Okay, so you've ran combo rigs most times, usually.
Yeah, think about the way I hunt it. Just say that. I hunted it.
Okay. I would probably, if you're going to hunt the big blind, middle of season,
covered
you've
in
been hunting
mallards,
it.
saw 2 dozen geese. In the whole morning you sat there scouting it.
What time of year?
We're going to give you late November.
Late November. So you got a decent chance.
Right before Thanksgiving, right after deer season.
Okay, so you got a decent chance of some lessers moving through or a small group of honkers.
But then I'll cap you off with same weather as that time of year, though, too.
Cold? Windy?
No. Like, you already had your big push. And you haven't got your Thanksgiving push.
Okay. That's tough.
You made me you overthought this so much, by the way. The whole episode of Overthinking, you're so far down this rabbit hole. My answer was...
I had an answer right away.
My answer still hasn't changed, but go ahead, Bob.
I would probably run 2 to 3 dozen honkers, loaf-style spread in the grass with feeders, couple centuries. I would run probably six goose floaters and then a pile of mallards, because typically that time of year you get a good push of mallards.
Sam, what are you doing?
A dozen full body honkers and maybe a floater or 2, and then the rest is all duck.
How many
mallards.
ducks though?
I don't know, probably like at least 4 or 5 dozen.
Okay. See, I've had my answer this whole time. I don't know anybody else who's done this. You've done it with me a couple times, but no one else. To my knowledge, I know you don't do this.
I don't hunt the river blind.
I don't think Grant does this too. To my knowledge, I put out every single duck floater in that river blind. Every single time.
Oh, I do that a lot.
Me and Grant do quite a bit.
Every single time.
We all do that.
Every single duck floater. But then this is where it gets tricky. I'll put out about 6 full body mallards on whatever sort of area where I want to make the transition. And then I will put out 6 sleeper shells, 3 full bodies, so, just whatever, like no more than 10 total land goose decoys. And then I will do what Sam did and put 2 floaters in the water. But the tricky part of what I do is I put all of my undesirable ducks, the ones that we don't really have that time of year, all the way at the very end of the spread. And I use them as just like, how people in Utah, they use black decoys.
Yeah,
I
it's just
my
numbers.
My draw.
Yeah.
And then I surround the hole with mallards. But the way that I do it is I put the 2 goose decoys right in the middle of the hole.
Yeah, to finish your geese if you get a group of geese to work.
I take my spinners. I usually don't even run them, but I'll put them out just in case I want to use them to flash them on the corners. And I'll put all my spinners, I'll put them upwind of those goose floaters on the upwind side of the hole so the geese don't fly over them. I have killed more geese using that spread setup, all sorts of ducks in like 10 or 12 total decoys, than I have in the same, if you have 10 geese fly by, I've killed those 10 geese more often with 12 goose decoys than I have with throwing the kitchen at them.
Yeah, especially.
But here's the story,
I will agree
though.
with you on that. Again, I think we're all on the same concept of like not a massive blob of geese that time of year.
If you're hunting geese though, in February, I'm putting out 15 dozen decoys
at least.
Yeah. But I've found that less is more with the geese, because I remember
you're also chasing a lot of honkers that time of year.
Last year, we always ran the same spread. About 5-7 dozen geese, 8 dozen ducks, 15 dozen. Them ducks, they figured that shit out quick. They figured that shit out so quick.
5 to 15 dozen goose floaters is like so common up and down the river that it is absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's very few people that are going to run 1 to 3 dozen goose decoys with a duck rig. And the guys that do are usually only running like a dozen duck decoys. And so when you break out of that normal curve of what you see going up and down the river, I'd agree that can work really well. You just don't want to look like every other spread up and down the river.
Next take on this.
Facebook. That thing's huge.
Yeah, let James sell that on Facebook. Take it to the dump.
He said, why not? I'm going to sell it.
Oh, I thought he said not really. Anyways, my next take is, though, this is a hot one, I think, amongst Grant Edgecombe. I think he would not agree with this. No matter what time of year you're hunting, there is such thing as too few decoys in that blind. We had that last year. We hunted it. We always said, we're putting out 12 dozen, 15 dozen decoys every time. Let's try a micro spec. Let's throw out 2 dozen. They wouldn't even look at us. They wouldn't even. They would look at the refuge and the hundreds of ducks over there and go, that'll work. They wouldn't even consider it. Or I've hunted I hunted out there a couple times by myself when I'd throw out 18 floaters.
The thing I'd say on that
not
is
enough.
You're not running an X hunt though.
Yeah.
You're traffic, so you have to have a blob.
You cannot traffic on the
if you're not going to run mini goose decoys, you need a shitload of duck decoys.
I'm talking 18 decoys total.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not going to run the goose decoys and you're going to try to compete with a shitload of live ducks running traffic, you need to have a pile of ducks. Like, with traffic, for the most part, numbers help. Whether you want to match the hatch with all ducks, you want to match with some geese, whatever, having a good amount of numbers. And the nice thing about ducks in the river is they're all moving with the current. So a shitload of ducks all moving looks realistic as shit.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree. I think the big thing, too, with the whole idea of overthinking and the way that we do that kind of stuff, I think you can chalk it up as we're trying so hard to put on the perfect hunt every single time.
Oh, yeah.
We are.
Sometimes you try a little too hard,
yeah.
I think. And I will also make the comment, I think it does hurt us sometimes if we try too hard.
It's not only just decoys, though. We spent, like, the entire episode talking about decoys, but calling.
You should see the way.
Sometimes even your hide. Sometimes.
I was going to say, I've seen a couple of your hides, and I've been like, there's like ghost, and then there's gone, and then it looks like they buried a pit here, but it's layout blinds. Like, you have had Sam. I've hunted a couple hunts where when Sam and Joe and I hunt, what usually happens is Sam and Joe set up the blinds. We're hunting a big goose rig. I'll start setting decoys, and then Joe will finish camoing while Sam and I fit the rest of the decoys. I remember this one hunt off this one place, and we had the best hide ever, and we whacked them. Killed our 8-man specs, whole 9.
You guys had a killer hide
Whacked
that day.
them. I still have pictures of that hide on my phone.
You couldn't even see the blinds.
You didn't even know there was layout blinds. I mean, we fucked them up. We were killing them
at 10
yards. I will
say hide is one thing that, you can overthink and you can get way too carried away with, but it's never going to hurt you to be overhidden.
No.
Like, I think of an example of where, we buried in these blinds to, like, the fullest one time. We were smacking them. We were still smacking them at the end of the hunt, but we had no camo left on the blind. Like, it didn't matter that day. Like, we definitely had overthought it. But you're never going to have them flare because there's too much grass on your blinds. Or
now, I was more on the concept of, like, where to hide at. Because, for example, a great one was when we hunted this hay pasture off the river, and all of us collectively were like, these geese are in here, like, they're thick as hell. And it's like, well, there's no hide. You can make a hide a lot of the times. Don't underestimate that, but you got to do it right.
My favorite hide that I made last year, to this day, we smoked the snow geese, but you went out in this pasture wide open. Grass was like ankle deep, like that was it. We literally just found a little low spot in the pasture, put layouts in it, brought in an enclosed trailer completely full of cedar tree branches, and just covered the area and just started like thinning them out. And the farmer told me, he's like, dude, that ain't gonna work. Like, there's just a giant blob of trees in my pasture. And I'm like, dude, there's so many cedar trees in this part of the country, like, nothing's going to think anything of it, but you have to create a scenario to where it looks like, there's trees around. You're not just one little blob, and make the hide sometimes. And it's also one of those things we think of as hunters. Like, are these ducks really going to look at it, or these geese, whatever, and go, man, that tree shouldn't be there? Or are they just going to look at it and go, oh, that's a tree?
I do have a very hot take on this, though. I don't think you can just make a hide with an 8-frame hide. You can make a hide with a layout
That was my
hide.
next comment. people who put
Because
A-frames in the middle of the field in Canada,
I don't know
you're
where-
hunting ducks in Canada.
I don't know where Joe's at right now, but he would be screaming at the top of his lungs right now that you can only do it with layouts.
I would say the
I've shoved
layouts you
A-frames in
can
a
do
lot
it
of
in
places
way
and
more
felt like
places.
I got fucked over.
Yeah.
There's definitely way more scenarios that you can do it with layouts. But I would also go out as far as to say I think you could do it with A-frames more often than we do, but I think you would need to go a whole different dimension of camo.
If you're
like,
talking
you
fields,
need
though-
to like put thickets on front of it. Like you can't just like grass them. Like it would need to be like full blown cedar trees around it. Like
it would need to be
you would,
3-dimensional.
like several days of work.
It can't be 1-dimensional or even 2-dimensional. It would have to be 3-dimensional.
Oh, it would, and you'd have to like if you were gonna make it into a big shrub. You'd have to put like other shrubs around you. Like you'd have to almost create your thicket that you hit or fence line.
To me, that's not even overthinking. That is I have learned through experience. Like
I will also say it depends on what you're
cut and
hunting.
dry for me.
Like
Well, yeah, if you're hunting
like
ducks,
if you're
it's
hunting
a lot
teal,
different.
like let's not get carried away. You probably don't even need to put the grass on the mats. But
Yeah, but no. There was some hunts where we tried to make it happen in A-frames because of clients or whatever. Just physically they couldn't hunt out layouts or whatever, and like it's not that our blinds weren't grassed to a T. They were grassed over a T. Like they were grassed amazing, and we tried to do different things where we tried to make it more than just 2-dimensional. Where you're putting corn stalks on, you're throwing branches, whatever.
you
Especially
literally need
in-
almost like
in a-
thickets or tree line piles, like trailers full of stuff to make it
in a field
camo.
scenario with an A-frame, it is tough because not only that, but if they've been in that field feeding for however long, especially if they've been in there for a couple days, they know, like
top
what is
cover.
this? What is this random giant clump in this field that was not here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah,
I had
if
to
you
get
don't have
that off my
something to blend
chest.
it in, the other thing is like we're in Nebraska. There's not random clumps in the middle of fields.
No, and we're pretty
Like-
damn flat.
Now, like a pasture, if you bury an A-frame in enough cedar trees, you'll probably get away with it with some of the birds, not all of them. But like, it really just depends.
Yeah.
You've got some red ass ears, Splat. Sorry, I'm off in my own world over
I
here.
saw that. Sitting over
ears
there
are-
just playing with the dog.
Cute little dog with red ass ears, though. But no, I think no matter how you put it, I think there is times when we do overthink, and I think there is times when the overthinking does create success. I mean, really, it comes down to a play-by-play. But the drama you two have about goose decoys versus not, you're going to have to continue that into the next episode because we are going to go on ahead and call it here, guys. I want to go on ahead and thank everybody for coming, tuning in to watch this episode. I don't know how to talk anymore, I suppose. If you want to book a hunt, call Grant 308-224-7289. If you want to check us out on socials at Whiskey Slews everywhere, whiskeyslews.com will be the website. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got some great stuff coming. We're going to have the guide life coming soon. Thanks, guys.